bad to have such kind of a person?
Personally, you ask.
This time I'll be somewhere. You see, this is the kind of character you were brought up to be. Well, you find a lady or you find a guy who doesn't ask you those questions, who doesn't want to know where you're going.
Yes.
Well, then, is it a flaw?
That's a red flag, like a big one. I mean, you should know where I am, what I'm doing, but at the same time, do not try to control me.
Yes.
You see, because if I decide to be, you are the person that I'm dating, I do not know my whereabouts, then why should we be in that relationship in the first place? But at the same time, as I said earlier, do not try to control so much. To me, that's a red flag. And most of the time, we find ourselves like running away from it. Yeah.
There are so many other types of red flags. The other one, you try to bring it up, but you didn't clearly state it. It's been an issue. Every other person gets into any other relationship. All they want is the openness. That is what they define it. Whether the romantic type of relationship or any other relationship. If I'm working for you, you definitely want me to trust you.
Yes.
Yes. There are certain things, but I've seen this happening not only at workplaces but everywhere. Everyone wants to receive their calls and moving around. You would want your partner to receive their call near you. How do you take that in terms of password? He talked about it, many passwords. You go to M-Pesa, there is a PIN. You want to unlock your phone, there is a PIN message, there is a PIN WhatsApp, there is a PIN. And also they now use WhatsApp GB.
Which has been everywhere.
Yes. What kind of things are these? Because I feel like it's too much.
Actually, they are very bad. It is sometimes it irritates a relationship, and it puts a lot of insecurities. Actually, when you keep up following me, putting a lot of passwords in the phone, actually, it is disrespectful. Actually, and it also brings a lot of anger in a relationship, and it can actually bring heartbreaks or breakups in a relationship. So it is really bad. I don't encourage a partner to be actually following me each and every time. They should actually just have that trust in me. Yeah, that's what I can say.
Yes.
Yeah.
For the case of being followed up, I guess there are two ways. It's a two-way thing. Because there are times that he follows you and you feel like this is too much. And there are times that he is not following you. At times, I get to understand that whenever someone is trying to be more sweeter, like the tea is so much sugary. You get several messages now and then. To me, I identify that like a red flag. The control shouldn't be that much. And also, in as much as we want to be updated on what you are doing, and also for the case of the passwords, we can't do anything about that because each and everyone has a password.
But then you get yourself into this relationship. This kind of a person has never been that way. Initially, before you started this kind of relationship, they were open.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very open. Now you get into this relationship, 2 months down the line, 3 months down the line, they now start having passwords. So privacy, that is for WhatsApp. They mute you. Not to view status. What brings about this kind of behavior later on?
If, for example, let's talk about maybe there is lack of trust. The trust. If you guys don't have trust between you two, then I'll be able to put several passwords, like in my gallery, in my WhatsApp. The password Facebook. You have to unlock it everywhere. That is brought up by lack of respect and also lack of the trust in that relationship. Yeah. But how do we maneuver in that kind of situation?
That is the question. Well, do you think that it is now possible to work on some of the red flags and also the flaws that we experience in different relationships? It is quite interesting that nowadays people get themselves into relationships with a blind eye, that is, they're never keen on what are some of the issues or other characters they can really work with, and some of the characters that they can't work on. Well, talk with us through our socials at EBN TV and at SAMMY ADIKA. Have you ever identified a red flag or flaw, and how did you work on them? How well did you work on them? Well, talk to us through our socials at EBN TV and at SAMMY ADIKA. Let's understand these issues, whatever kind of a relationship you are into, and how well are you working on them. Well, we also find ourselves in, relationship, basically it might be more than one person, and sometimes it might be just for two people, sometimes 3 or 4, depending on the type of relationship it is. And let's talk about this kind of relationship between a male and a female. You get into a relationship. You wouldn't want your guy to be talking to
many
ladies, many of them, as he's putting it. And also you wouldn't want your girl to talk to several men. They feel insecure. What is this? Is it okay to talk to ladies? And also, some ladies like when you flirt with them. They don't like the lukewarm kind of conversations.
Yeah, as for me, Adika, I really love my girl. As per my suggestions, I really love my girl to be open-minded. I really want my woman to be not to be a slave. You see, I really want her to explore the world. As much as she respects me and she knows her boundaries. Because letting her talk to this man, because it is an opportunity for her to look for opportunities outside here, for example. So you'll find that when I'm putting so much insecurities to her, I'm following her up and down, and I'm feeling jealousy. And of course, no man is an island. We were meant to support each other, to talk to each other. And Makiu, your girlfriend, remember, maybe her boss is a man. You cannot control that. You see, so for me, I think I changed my mind some few years ago, and I really like my woman to talk to anybody, despite being a man or a woman. I think that is freedom in it itself. For me, I will agree my woman to talk to as many men as possible, as long as she knows her boundaries. She respects me.
Well, how would you tell that a guy is being called at, say, past 10 p.m. with a lady, and they want to have a conversation? This guy will leave the bedroom, or he will leave wherever you guys are seated. Let's say you're out for a dinner. The guy moves out and he goes comfortably to speak to a lady. How would you feel?
It's normal for jealousy to crop up, But then again, how do you people relate to each other? So that it comes to that point that maybe there is an emergency and you have to go out. I always say, like, being in a relationship, you both have to be alert. If one partner is like not active in terms of mindset, then you'll always blame the other partner. And that is why if he has an emergency or I have an emergency and have to talk to someone outside, he will definitely say that I'm cheating or something else is happening outside. But in between us, whenever we are two, as a team, because the relationship is teamwork. So do we have the respect? Do we have the open-minded kind of mindset? Do we communicate? Do we relate to one another? How do we solve our issues? If we accomplish all that in one basket, then I don't think the level of jealousy might be too high.
Well, sometimes these are issues that are always raised. Several times you find someone, is it a weakness, is it a flaw you can work on it, or is it a red flag? You find this guy comfortably talks to a lady, then they delete the history or something of the sort. What is this?
That is a red flag, and it is a big red flag. Yeah, and I think you can avoid such a scenario, such a case, and it is also dangerous. It can also result to a heartbreak, actually. So
I guess even before we continue, we have to understand whenever we are talking about the red flag and the flaws, what do we mean? Because I guess we are trying to get lost. Because to me, I take it like a flaw in a relationship is brought up whenever we ignore the red flags. Because to me, a flaw is imperfections. It's issues that we are having in our relationship. And why do we have these issues? Definitely because we had the red flags. I noticed red flags, but I ignored. Because you can never advise someone who is in love. That is, it's always difficult. You identify the red flag the first time, the second time, it's because you do not want to lose. Maybe you had seen future. And it's very funny because when it comes to us as women, whenever we are trying to date, we don't just date. Okay, I'm trying to support the women out here. We don't just try to date because of the sake of dating.
Yes.
You have to look for the future. Is this person going to give me something in future? But then I'm not saying because I have to be there, I'm just looking at the future that you're supposed to go and give me. No. Can we work together? So if we are in that relationship and then I start noticing the red flags and I continue ignoring my red flags that I'm noticing, definitely I'll resort to the flaws in that relationship.
Yes.
But at the end of it all, how do we solve those flaws? It becomes difficult. And we end up in breakups, in issues, some commit suicide and stuff. Yeah.
Well, Melody is clearly telling us that all they want is, or rather all they're looking for is nyota. Do you have nyota? Yes, that is what they're looking for. So if your star is not shining, better get going. Well, Alan,
Yes.
let's now talk about the issue. Currently, we've seen a number of youth, or rather a number of young people.
Yes.
You know, basically, this is meant to help the Gen Zs and the millennials, some of the millennials.
Yes.
Because the issue to do with depression is actually affecting most of them.
Very true.
You get into a relationship and you see either be it romantic or any other type of relationship. At first, things seem moving. Everything is working out smoothly. Later on, a few months down the line, things start not working as expected.
Yes.
So someone gets into depression. Some of them start thinking, if there's no love, if this kind of relationship is not working, we better find a way to dissolve it. And you know, one party might be so much attached to it.
Yeah.
Because I know attachment is serious.
It is
You get into you're so much. How do you work around this kind of feeling?
Okay, let me start, ADIKA. And I think you've asked the question from which I experienced. It is a very personal, from my personal experience. Yeah, it is a very bad feeling, and I think how you can escape that, you can talk to friends. Don't isolate yourself. The second thing, accept it. Accept that you've been left out. But also have high hopes. Maybe this partner can come back. Yeah, can come back. Do a lot of exercises to, of course, to curb that depression or anxiety. Yeah, and yeah. I really advise. It is a very serious thing, by the ADIKA, that question that you asked, and I myself am not an expert, but just do as I've told you. Try to do a lot of exercise. Talk to a friend. Don't isolate yourself to avoid cases of suicidal thoughts or self-harm. Do a lot of exercise and try to pray more. Try to pray more.
At times,
kisikurambe tu na umetulia hapo. Yes.
let's just say, kikikuramba waitikia, you know, because we undergo the process of negotiating with your heart.
Okay.
After a breakup, you have to negotiate before even accepting. Let me say, I'm also talking in terms of experience.
Yes,
Kimeturamba wengi tulipitia. So it's hard when it comes to negotiating with your heart.
Yes.
And also holding on to being like, maybe this person is going to come back. It might not even take several months. It might take years. And it's hard for someone. But the moment you get to negotiate with your heart and you try to talk to your heart and you're like, this thing is done. Now we have to accept.
Yes.
You see?
Yeah.
But also, I advise people, look for someone that you can talk to. Because most of us, maybe we do not have many friends, but we have maybe that one parent you can talk to. To me, I'm always appreciating my mother because I prefer like pouring my heart to her because she is going to listen. And let me tell you, a parent will never judge you. Let me tell you, if you try to talk to your friends, in as much as we say like you have to have that, for example, we were talking about a platonic relationship. You have to have that person that you are talking to. But if you do not have that platonic person that you're talking to, then maybe a parent can be of help. Because I'm always like, a parent will never judge you. It might be difficult facing that issue with her or him, but for the sake of your mental health, I would look for someone to talk to. Yeah.
But Melody, before ADIKA you speak, I want to contradict with you. I was once heartbroken, and then I went to my mother and told her the story. Do you know what my mom told me? My mom told me, "My boy, are you serious? Focus with your life. The things that you're telling me here are not building up your life. So please, kindly, and focus with your life. Stop telling me things that are not adding up."
Yeah, I think what Melody is also trying to tell you is find that one person you can closely relate with.
Okay.
Yeah.
After identifying the kind of person you can closely relate with in terms,
I support your opinion saying that we have to carry. I support your opinion saying that we have to carry your mindset. You don't have to forget that niko na akili. So I should think, you know. But anytime for me, anytime that I'm getting into that relationship, I guess my mindset is always alert because I'm not always 100% about it. It's not always the positivity in that relationship that I'm going to get. Maybe the positive part of this side of the story is 30%, and the 70% is the negative part of it. So how am I going to deal with that? So whenever there is the establishment, you have to carry the both sides, the negative and the positive.
yes, Alan. You know, let's now shift from the romantic one. Let's come to a workplace. You're establishing a relationship at your workplace. You know, people are different. We all have different personalities. Now you have to have this kind of character by your side for 8 hours a day. And you know now this person, because when you go home, your family, the amount of time you spend with them is way too little. Because, you know, most of it, let's say 8 hours you sleep, 8 hours you're at work. The remaining few hours is when you talk to them, and maybe some few hours you're outside trying to get home. This now becomes your second family. How do you establish a relationship with someone you don't completely know? They have different personalities, and you know, if you are a perfectionist, be it you suffer from OCD, you know, some people suffer from OCD. So how do you deal with someone who has the mild OCD and you're just completely normal? You come to your desk in the morning, you want things in order. This person comes, they will leave the desk the way they want. How do you deal with such kind of characters?
To start with, you should learn different temperaments among different people. And you should also understand that different people have different temperaments. For example, me, I'm sanguine stroke choleric. A sanguine is a person who likes talking. A choleric is a doer. Is someone who is talkative, is a leader like a person. So you should also understand the temperaments of the other part. If to answer your question, if you really understand, you can understand the temperaments of another partner. you can really work better in such an environment. Yeah.
Adika, I guess I want to ask a question from my side. Are we talking in terms of having a partner in the workplace, or is it like just because we are colleagues, the relationship between colleagues? Or
yes, no, not really. Okay, now you can answer from the second perspective. The first perspective in terms of, you get into this workplace, just colleagues, that kind of relationship with colleagues. We have to relate. At the end of the day, we have to work together. So this kind of a person is, or rather, has the mild OCD, and you're very normal. You have to interact with them. Yes. How do you initiate such kind of relationship, or rather maintain them?
first of all, I believe working with people, we have that space. In as much as we are colleagues, there is that limit. There are ways that I need my work to be done. There are ways that maybe I place my cup of tea. So you have to identify how Melody does her thing, because we don't have to crisscross one another if we have to work together. And it's somehow difficult whenever maybe we are working on a project. We have to do it the both of us. But then again, this person doesn't know how to handle my things. And two, I'm like, how are you handling your things? So we have to understand one another.
Yes.
And for the best part of it, I guess communication also works.
Let me now take you back to the kind of romantic relationship. You get into a relationship, this guy is a don't care completely. You don't care. Or this lady is a don't care. But you want your things perfectly done. You have to learn my way. This guy does things his way, he knows. Mimi, so long as you are happy, I'm done. Is that a flaw or is it a red flag? He's not ready to learn your ways.
I think, Adika, that scenario really brings a lot of confusion and really brings a lot of questions. But I don't think if it is a red flag or a flaw. It is a lifestyle, and you really need to just know your partner. You can, and I think the best thing here is to correct each one with love. Yeah. I don't think if it is a red flag or a flaw. I'm a Melody unasemaje. Unajua sisi you girls tunapenda, you people like arranging your things nicely. Of course, yeah, perfectionist. And of course men tutakuja tutatupa tu nguo hapo kwa kiti. You see? I don't know how you're going to take it, but I don't think if it is a red flag or a flaw.
It's none of the above. Because I had a case that we were conversing with someone, and he said, at my place, the socks, ziko kila mahali. You might find them even in the kitchen. But at the end of it all, it's how you get to communicate with that person.
Yes.
And you get to change that person.
Yes.
Change is inevitable.
Well, nice. So let's talk about the big issue, money. You know, money can build two people, and it can break trust.
Yeah, true.
Be it in a romantic relationship or any other relationship, even at workplace. Let me ask you a question. Today we go out and we break a deal together. Then I play you. It makes you feel bad. You want to get back to me. Now, in a romantic relationship, money has always been the issue. Hey, and Gen Z, it is a big issue. We all want to do things. They all want to do things their own way.
Yeah.
You get, and people are never open with money. Anywhere, any type of relationship, most people prefer having it silent. You get, whatever I get, I do my things my way. You don't question how much I make, and this is amongst the young people.
Yes.
But when you grow old, it changes. Now, how can people work around money issues?
I guess at times, whenever we are in a relationship, sometimes we get somehow lost. Because you tend to see, like, ladies, not that I'm trying to be against ladies, I'm a woman, I'm on your side, ladies, but at times it comes to a point when we say, my money is my money. And if it's you, Adika, or you, Alan, your money is our money. Are you getting that point?
Yes.
So that brings an issue. But to me, I don't view it in such a way, because I'll bring up this topic. Someone involved me in a discussion, and he asked me, for example, we are in a relationship. How are we supposed to deal with our finances? I don't know. I should put it in a way like how I'm brought up. I understand if it's the bills, if it's the school fees, it's the male part that plays that role. And if it's the food, and if it's the clothing, the female try to place that role. You get? But when you bring them together, the both partners are playing a role. Like no one is sleeping. So I guess it should be teamwork. Yeah.
Yes.
You seem so charged.
Yeah, he is.
I thought
He is on
going
my
to
side.
I'm on her side actually. That's the kind of a partner that I need. In this generation that we are in, the Gen Z and the millennials, it is a millennial that we need to help each other. We need to work as a team. We need to help. We need to open businesses as a team. We can even go extra mile to open a joint account together. Yeah, I don't think if Melody you have a contradictory thought about that. Yeah, because saizi maisha imekuwa ngumu sana. Mwana venye uchumi imeturamba. So I think if we support each other in the situation of money right now, we open a business, we pay bills together. You as ladies, you can also support your boyfriend. Yeah.
But then, there's the issue to do with we make money, and later on, after someone is stable, someone has made it, wananitoka. You get that is the term they use.
Yeah.
What is that?
That is brought up by...
Is it a red flag first? And it's always silent.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. But before it comes to that point, that kinaanza kukuramba after you have gone through that journey, did you at any point identify that red flag? Because it never comes once. It's a process. It comes once, you ignore. Twice, you ignore. So this person is like, she even doesn't identify that something is wrong.
So how would you know who you, when we are now grown up, or rather when we are through the process of the hustle and bustle, this guy is most likely to run away?
You can easily identify that through, for example, let's say home banking. You and your partner have decided that at least each month we should be contributing 1,000 or 500, let's say 500 to our home bank. And then when it reaches that month, this person ignores and doesn't contribute anything. You have decided that you are deciding together that at least in every month we should be contributing 1,000, or let's say let's open an account in one of the banks, you see, and contribute. But you'll see this partner ignoring and not even being interested in contributing anything at the end of the month. You'll actually go and sit down and notice, no, this is it's not the kind of a partner that I need. That's how you can identify that this person really cannot support me. Yes, and it is really a red flag in a relationship.
Well, I can see my time is almost up, but just on an issue that I happened to come across yesterday. We all get into this kind of relationships and any type of relationship. Mostly, let's talk about whatever is affecting this generation, the Gen Z thing. And it's been hyped on social media. It's been an issue that is affecting most. The lack of stating, you're just there. It is lukewarm. I'm not stating where we are. The bestie thing. How is it affecting, the establishment of a relationship? Because you start as bestie, then you don't really get the right stand later on.
To me, if someone is lukewarm, like he doesn't know where he is, or I don't know where we are just besties, and then at the end of it all, someone is trying to say like, we are in this relationship together, yet you're not outspoken, you're not trying to put it like, yeah, we are doing this thing. So to me, do I say it's time? To me, time works. So if it's 3 months and you're still saying we're still friends, there is nothing like establishment in such a thing. I'm like, this guy is not serious. If ulikuwa unanipima, what were you trying to test? You see? So if you are in for this thing, I guess, why don't we have like, accept you are in for this thing and we start this relationship? Yeah. There is no need of being lukewarm.
And also, ADIKA, on that issue, let me say, for example, I'm dating Melody, and then the issue of bestie, she has another bestie, that bestie is a man. You see, it also brings a lot of issue because, for my own knowledge, I understand that a relationship is brought up by first being, you guys being friends. You see, and it is very easy, for my own perspective, when Melody is my girlfriend and she has another bestie, it's very easy for her, when we fall apart, she can go to the other relationship. But we've also seen in this Z generation, this word, bestie. Most of the besties have chewed our girlfriends, by the way. So it is really a red flag in a relationship. If you decided that you're going to date me, and I should be your bestie, and together she'll also be your boyfriend. These words of saying that I have a bestie, we are going outside to end a hike na bestie, it really brings a lot of insecurities to our relationship.
Well, now the bestie thing now takes me to this instance whereby you have a friend that you're always running to for advices. You're never ready to face the person you are in a relationship with and iron out your issues. Before you take any move, you run back to either your mother, your friend, your father. You get this girlfriend of yours, ladies, they have these pep talks, just like men. Is it the best move always to run to the other person first before you now address the issue?
Let me tell you something, ADIKA. To me, I always have that platonic person. Before you came into my life, I wasn't just like standing there waiting for you to come into my life, right? I had someone that I was talking to. And there are issues that I can't face you and talk to. Maybe being a reason is because the circle in which we are in, or the environment that you are giving me, is not comfortable. And I'm always for the mental health. Platonic relationship is my thing. Like having that person that I can run to always and lean on to share my issues. I would go for that because I value my mindset, and I don't want to get into depression. I don't want to get into having the stress issues. So I would rather do that.
Yes.
But don't put it in terms of the bestie thing, because I also understand whenever you put it like that platonic relationship is a bestie. I remember we had that discussion here with Cynthia about the bestie thing, but it's something that have been named in a very weird way, because you brought up the topic of your girl cheating on you with a bestie. But what kind of environment are you providing to that girlfriend of yours for her to go and look for that bestie? But for my case, it's not bestie. It's someone that I can trust. I can share my issues with, just because you do not provide a good environment for me.
I agree with you, by the way. Yeah, it is wise, by the way, when you have a disagreement with your partner, it is good to have at least someone outside that relationship that you can run to ask for a solution or a solution. I totally agree with that. Yes.
Now, a good one. You talk of the bestie, someone you can run to. Now assume it is a male for you, Melody, and for you, Alan, it is a female. Does it not sound like that backup plan? The option 2 I have.
ADIKA,
yes.
As I said earlier, to me it's not a bestie. It's platonic, of which I guess I'm yet to identify a name, changing it, because whenever you call platonic, and also platonic, someone is like, you have to start describing what platonic is. But I guess we still have to look for that catchy name, but not the bestie.
Yes.
Right now, when you talk about bestie, someone is like, there is some side.
Now a good one. Would you be comfortable if your guy or the person you're in a relationship with is having a bestie who is a female? Or
In terms of our bestie, ADIKA, we still were. I'm against the bestie name.
Bestie name.
okay, now platonic. Would you be comfortable having a male kind of a person?
Yeah, yeah. If for his case, if he is having some platonic friend, remember I said earlier, before I met him, he wasn't just on a standstill. Definitely he had friends and he had someone he was talking to. I just happened to come into his life. But what kind of relationship am I providing? Am I that person that he can talk to? Am I that person that he can face me now and then? I can turn to being that platonic friend of him. He's open with any kind of issue that he has. But if I'm there and I'm not providing that platform, then he definitely is going to look for someone. And I can't burden someone with mental issues and stress just because I'm jealous. If you need to look for help, look for help. But whenever you're looking for that help, what boundaries do you have as ADIKA or as Alan? What boundaries? Do you respect me?
And most probably ADIKA, when you guys have been, let's say, broken up in a relationship, and maybe this partner goes out looking for help, mind you that you'll not notice this person going out. Remember, you guys have been, for example, you guys have been, you fought in this relationship, and this partner has gone outside to seek for help. Mind you, like, you not realize this person going outside. Yes. So I don't feel like restricting this person because most of the time you'll not notice this person going to seek for help.
Yes, now let's almost wind up. Before that. So you are in this relationship, be it platonic or any other type. Now, you know there is maintaining. How do you maintain platonic relationships? Because everything has to, you have to refresh. You have to make sure that every day there is something that keeps us going. Yes.
One, do we have our boundaries? And then how do we communicate to one another? You know, before even talking about maintaining, is our communication free? And are we on the same side of the story? Because if you start being or having other issues and you're not open to me, then I don't think we can be able to maintain this relationship. Because I'm always coming to you as ADIKA for advice, or whenever I'm in crisis, or maybe just because I want to enjoy or have time, just to spend time. But our boundaries, the boundaries makes us maintain that relationship. Because to me, platonic, it doesn't involve any physical attachment. You get, we're just there for the emotional help and for the crying out. And maybe for the moral support, yeah.
For me, I think for you to maintain that relationship, the two of you should at least know each other's parents. I think that one brings that glue in a relationship. Another thing is at least you guys find time to be together, walk together, go for a nature walk. And also the last one, at least let your partner know your inner circle, that is your friends, the friends, semi wale bestie, the friends who can support you. Let her know your friends, let her know your family members, and let her be free to know them. It is a red flag if your partner does not want to know your parents. Yeah, it is very risky. Yeah.
Well, let's wind it up here with Melody Wanjiru and Alan Sirima. Your parting shot in terms of working on flaws and also red flags. Melody?
Always trust your instincts. Never ignore them. And always be able to identify that red flag. Because we said for us to have the flaws in that relationship is because we ignored the first red flag, the second one, and now we are at the third one. So if you are not able to be alert in that relationship to identify the red flags, then it's so sad for you to end up having stress and depression. So to me, always be alert in the relationship. Usilale in that relationship. Always identify the tiny things. They always say like little things matters. And for me, any little thing matters in that relationship. And for the sake of the mental health, always seek for advice and for help. If it's too much, we always hear outside to talk to.
Well, Alan, what's your parting shot?
Yeah, my parting shot in relationships, always be open-minded. Yeah. Another thing, have respect in relationship and always help each other. Yes.
Yes. Well, thank you for joining us this morning. This has been Social Thursday right here at EBN TV with me, SAMMY ADIKA. We've been addressing issues to do with red flags and also flaws in any type of relationship, but with the concentration on the kind of relationship called platonic relationship. But we've also addressed a romantic relationship, in which most cases the issues are almost similar in terms of trust, mistrust, in terms of money and all that. Well, as I tell you every day, carry your mind anywhere you go. Don't just work with emotions every time, because you need a balance, strike a balance. This is EBN TV. Until next time, have yourselves a wonderful day ahead. Thank you.
In a fast-paced world filled with distractions, it's easy to lose sight of